And welcome back to another installment of Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club, the Satchbag route. And, oh jeez. I don't remember exactly what was going on, except right now Maya looks worried, and she's saying, I heard what you were talking about. So, obviously, if you're watching this, you watched last time, and you know what's going on. Apparently I don't, so let's carry on. I have nothing else good to say. I heard what you're talking about. A small thrill of anger shot through me before I remembered just how thin the dormitory doors were. Of course she heard us. I see. I walked past her and set my bag on my desk, waiting for what was coming next. Mai seemed to be considering what she should say. My heart sank. If Mai was actually thinking about what she wanted to say, it had to be something serious. Well, she sat on my bed, facing me and the rest of the room. There wasn't anywhere I could go to hide. Damn, she was good. I didn't know the tournament was still on the table. Me neither. But if Satch says I should keep practicing, there must be hope, right? I trust him. I think it'll work out if he thinks it will. That's not what I was going to talk about. I know Satch is reliable. He doesn't say things without thinking them through, so... It's not whether you can trust him. I put my hand on my hip, suddenly impatient. Then what is it? Well, are you sure you even still want to be in the tournament? Of course I do. Those boys have been treating you horribly. I know you were so happy when you had the chance to join the club and make friends with them. Heck, I was happy for you. We were both excited. We truly thought they were, or could be, our friends. But they weren't. They aren't. Friends don't treat friends like this. Is it worth all the effort for practicing and preparing for the tournament?
Really?
Are you sure you want to do it? And would it be fun? Or would it just be for fun? Or for them? I'm not trying to say they're not good people, or that you shouldn't if you want to. I just want you to think this through. I don't like seeing people take advantage of my friends, people I care about. Take advantage? Were they taking advantage of me? Alright, so obviously my choices are here, what you can see. I don't blame them for what they or for how they reacted, or I don't know, or they were wrong, or I enjoy the game. For the love of the game. No. I've never seen that movie. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Tetris recently. I have that song stuck in my head now. I think I'm going to go with choice number one. I don't blame them for how they reacted. 'Cause honestly, if I was in a situation, I could see... I'd probably step back and see both sides of the argument pretty well. Now, of course, if I was in this situation, I probably wouldn't have reacted the same way Mai or Hana would have. And I don't know. I might have asked Hidden Block to join their team just to see what happens. Because I like seeing the reactions out of people. Not in like a weird manipulative way. I mean, I just like... okay, maybe it is manipulative. Damn. But no, I'd see both sides of the situation. I understand where they're coming from. It's not their fault they drew the conclusion they did. I probably would have done the same thing in their shoes. I haven't had a pleasant past with people, or with people who I thought were my friends, so I understand why they were so upset. But wouldn't you want to be even more careful now? I'm gonna move that. There we go. This happened before. You don't have to tell me what happened, but if you're making the same... What if you're making the same mistake? I don't want to tell May about my past. How worse than being friendless. I was betrayed by my few friends I thought I had. Maybe she had a point. Maybe I was doing the same thing again, opening myself up to the same kind of hurt. Maybe I didn't... Maybe I hadn't learned my lesson. But...
No!
I can't. I just can't get mad at them. Even if they don't consider me their friend, they're friends to me. Friends make mistakes. Sometimes they hurt you or get mad. That doesn't mean you should just drop them or leave them hanging. And besides, I like playing the game and being in the tournament. I want to keep going. Dot, 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 dot. Well, if that's what you want, I'm not going to stop you. I don't like it, but...
I'll support you.
I'll support you, I guess. Thank goodness. A wave of relief washed over me.
Yay!
Thank you so much, May. You're the best. And you're a true friend. Do the same for me if I needed help. Chapter 3. The next night I was still working as May prepared for bed. Are you gonna go to sleep? No. I think I need to finish this paper. I want to get it all done tonight. She made a face. For a second my heart stopped. Did she know what I was planning? I still don't get why we need to know the anatomical proportions of Goombas. Yeah, me neither. Thank goodness.
Good night.
Well, don't stay up too late. I won't. She crawled into her bunk and under the covers. In no time she was fast asleep. I waited a few minutes to ensure she wouldn't wake up, tapping my pencil idly against my desk. I hadn't told her what I was going to do. I hadn't told anyone. But going out after curfew wasn't really that big a deal. Okay, that was a bold lie. If I got caught, I would be in serious trouble, but that didn't matter. Satch was spending every day in the library and the Normal Boots Club trying to clear our names. There wasn't much I could do to help him there, but surely no one would mind if I did a bit of snooping on my own. When I was finally sure May was asleep, I slipped out of our room. Luckily, I didn't run into anyone on my way out the dormitory. No one was supposed to be out past 9, so it wasn't a big surprise, but no one was roaming the hallways either. I stepped into the cold night air and took a deep breath. A slight wind blew through the campus, raising goosebumps against my skin. Shivering, I headed towards Poppy Hall. There was no way I'd be let into the clubroom during the day, but at night... My footsteps echoed across the walkways. There wasn't a single soul around me and hardly any light. Since people weren't supposed to be out after dark, the lampposts were few and far in between. If I were attacked, no one would notice. Shaking my head, I sped up. In no time, I made it to Poppy Hall. I crept into the hallway. A still silence encompassed the entire building. Suddenly, I was seized with a fear I never experienced during the day. It was so quiet, so still, so empty. Now I understood why people thought abandoned schools were haunted. They were creepy as hell. I crept around the corner past the science lab, into the back of the building. Normal Boots Club room should be right here. Crap! No! It was locked. Stupid, stupid! Of course it would be locked. There's stuff in there people could steal. Of course a teacher would lock it. Now what? Must I go back empty-handed? Stupid Hana. Tricks are for kids. I should have prepared for this. I heard a noise in the distance and my heart stopped. Footsteps. Someone was coming. Panicking, I searched around myself for a place to hide, but I was in the middle of the hallway, in nothing but lockers and windows. I was trapped. Bum bum bum. Cringing, I closed my eyes. Alright, let's hold for a dramatic pause. Alright, that's dramatic enough. Let's carry on. Cringing, I closed my eyes. The footsteps came closer. Closer. They stopped in front of me. I can hear a knife being sheathed. No one said anything. Hesitantly, I opened my eyes. Mr. Saitomo? Dot, 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 dot. And we're expelled. He looked past me to the classroom door. Did you forget something? Yeah. I left my math book inside. He nodded and pulled out a giant ring of keys. With a flick of his wrist, he motioned me inside. I shifted and he unlocked the door. He pulled the door open and gestured me inside. "Hurry up, please." Deciding not to ask, I scurried inside. The clubroom was much the same as I remembered it. I wanted to take a peek around, but now that Mr. Saitama was here, I decided it was better not to. Still, there was one place I could look. I went to the back of the room where a large metal closet rested. Please don't be locked. It's unlocked. I pulled the door open and looked in. At the top were stacked a few boxes and miscellaneous items. Was that a skull? And a crystal ball? Nah, never mind. Below, where the boots once stood, was an empty shelf. I sighed. I was about to leave empty-handed when I remembered I needed a math book. Turning back to the locker, I pulled a random book out of the closet. Their boxes of junk came in handy, and that was about to close the door when I noticed something. There was a dent in the bottom of the closet, just under where the boots once stood. But it's made of metal. Was that there before? I kneeled and ran my hand across the dent. Something heavy must have fallen into it to make one this large. Something heavy and angled. Something hard to carry. The boots. Now that I thought of it, the boots were made of solid gold. Of course they would be heavy. Heavy, unwieldy, and hard to carry. It really depends on how big the boots are, because gold is a surprisingly lighter metal than people would think. I'm just saying. We already covered this in the Shane route, but you know. Whoever took, unless, yeah, and as I said, unless it's gold-plated, then, oh yeah, it's going to be very heavy because most of it's steel. Whoever took them couldn't have taken them far, that was sure, and if they didn't have access to the clubroom in the day, they must have gotten it in the way I just did. Or they must have stolen the key themselves. But they wouldn't have done it at night, and then there was no way they could carry the boots all the way without getting tired or caught. Which meant they were still in Poppy Hall? "Miss, are you finished?" Yes, sorry, I'm coming." Tucking the book under my arm, I closed the door and headed out the classroom. Mr. Saitomo chaperoned me all the way back to Primrose House in a stiff, insulated silence. I wanted to ask him why he was wandering the halls at night, and why he'd let me off, and why he was always wore that brown suit. But looking closer at it, the suit was slightly rumpled, and there was a red ascot stuffed in one of the pockets. What? I looked closer at Mr. Saitomo's face. He looked somewhat flushed. Had he been on a date? Oh. ... If you don't tell, I won't either. He gestured at the book in my hand. I looked down to see a Dungeons and Dragons manual. What? I won't tell if you don't. He placed a finger on his lips. He turned on his heel and headed back to Poppy Hall. Oh, snap, mysteries afoot. Whose book was this? Well, if it's Dungeons and Dragons, it's gotta be Pro Jared. Just saying. As I climbed the staircase back to my room, my curiosity and excitement began to fade. Thankfully, I was able to sneak back in, hide the book, and pop into my bed before so much as moved a muscle. Great. Now I really was a thief. Bum. Hana, are you gonna get up or not? I sleep with my glasses on, apparently. Which is a bad idea. I squinted in the early morning light. If you don't hurry up, you'll be late. How long did you work on that essay anyways? Essay? I blinked at her. Whoa, you really are out of it. Don't deal well with no sleep, do you? Come on, get up. She flung my blankets off me, the cold air rushed in around my body, and I curled into a tighter ball. Yeah, 15 minutes or I'm leaving without you. I sat up. Memories of the night before rushed back in my head. Mr. Saitomo, the book, and the dent. I got ready for school, speeding through my routine and grabbing something from our mini-fridge to tide me over until lunch. Ready to go? Yeah. By the time we made it to Poppy Hall, I felt much less groggy. My hypothesis about the boots came back to me, and without thinking, I mentioned it to Mai.
Hey!
You know, Mai, the boots were made of solid gold. She turned to me in mild surprise. Yeah? So? Where's this coming from? I was just thinking, they'd probably be heavy, right? It would be too hard for someone to sneak them far from where they were taken. You think they're still in Poppy Hall? There was a gasp from behind us. Mai and I whirled around. Bum. Wald was standing less than a foot away, staring at us with wide eyes. Is something wrong? Huh? No, I didn't mean to startle you guys, I just fell asleep.
What?
You fell asleep? But you were walking. Yeah, I know. It happens all the time, actually. Just a thought popped in my head. We just stared at him. He glanced around as if looking for a way out. Well, it was nice running into you guys. Haven't seen you in a while. We should catch up sometime, but I've got to get to class. Bye. Wald walked past, giving us a wide berth, hands in his pockets. That was really weird. Do you think he heard us? I think so. It was really suspicious regardless. I've never heard of Wald falling asleep while walking. Me neither. We looked at each other, an idea forming in the space between us. It wouldn't hurt to check things out a bit, just to make sure, you know?
Yeah.
You can never be too careful. Just like that, we agreed. We would wait until everyone was at lunch. Then, we'd do a little investigating. Lunchtime came. As everyone crept out of the classroom, May and I stayed behind, refusing to make eye contact with anyone. Our hope was that it looked like some kind of protest. The normal boots guys, by extension the entirety of the class, were pretending we didn't exist. Most of our attempts at friendly interaction were completely ignored by the class. The normal boots guys got incredibly uncomfortable and just walked away. Well, most of them. Shane would shoot us a dirty look if we even got close to him. Whether they brought it or not, the classroom quickly emptied out, and Mai and I headed to the hallway. Now, do we even know which one is Wald's? Oh snap, I think I know where this is going, but this is a good point for a nice little cliffhanger. Until next time, see what Han is talking about with Wallin. So, until next time, Sensei Pong signing out. Like and subscribe.